Good stuff. Wild.
Exit below.
Guys, if you happened upon the old social media at any point yesterday, you saw the fallout from Nick Saban's NIL comments earlier in the week, where the Alabama coach accused Texas A&M of buying every player on the roster. Said Jimbo Fisher lined up NIL deals for all of them. As expected, Jimbo Fisher did not take too kindly to Saban. Oh, it's getting spicy. Take a listen.
It's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen, and it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. And it's a shame that you got to sit here and defend 17-year-old kids and families and Texas A&M because we do things right. We're always going to do things right. But we're always going to be here. We're doing a heck of a job. These coaches have done a great job. Our players have done a great job. The whole organization of recruiting people. It's despicable that we got to sit here at this level of ball and say these things to defend the people of this organization, the kids, 17-year-old kids and their families. It's amazing. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past or anybody that's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out, what he does and how he does it. And it's despicable.
Oh, wow. Nick, I'm curious. What was your reaction to Jimbo's comments?
Well, listen, I, like everybody, love a good fight between two boomers. Two guys that demand professionalism from their 19-year-old players. And Dan Le Batard, to his credit, nailed it in a single tweet. These guys demand professionalism, adulthood, the utmost of character from kids. But the moment their power or their money is questioned, they just start throwing slurs at each other. Go look into his past. He's paying players. He's a crook. It's such a joke. So why is it happening? It's happening in part because college football coaches by nature are control freaks. But it's also happening because, and I want to drill down on this, because Wilds and I think others disagreed with me yesterday, ultimately this impacts their money. I understand that the universities pay the coaches, and the universities right now are not paying the players. It's outside entities paying the players. However, what I think everyone can agree on is this. There is not an endless supply of money for college athletics. There is a finite supply of money. And as it has been right now, up until now, all of that money went to the universities for the universities to then build the facilities, pay the coaches, do whatever they want. Now, some of that money is being clawed away to pay the athletes. That is going to impact everyone else that was in that first pot, everyone that was benefiting from that first group, because now there's another group eating at that same trough. And the coaches hate it. In 40 states, the highest paid public employee is either the head men's basketball coach or the head men's football coach. 40 of our 50 states. The 10 that it's not, it's just because they don't have a big-time football program or basketball program. It's Hawaii, it's Alaska, it's Vermont. So it's not for lack of trying. And these guys have the greatest deal going. And now the players are getting a piece of it, and it's making them all nervous. And you know how they're acting? Like children. And so, it was good. It was entertaining. I love watching a 56-year-old man talk trash about a 70-year-old man as much as the next guy. But it is a window into why NIL is so threatening for the true powers of college football, the 8-figure-a-year coaches.
I agree with you, Nick. And there's more to it as well. In addition to is Nick Saban's salary going to drop? I doubt it, over time. But that could be an issue. But also, Nick, and you touched on it, the control. Okay, they are worried about, is my best receiver going to transfer? We just saw it yesterday with Jordan Addison going from Pitt to USC. They're worried about those things, and that's why They're talking about it's chaotic. It's the wild, wild west. Saban is not the only one who has come out and say this thing has to be put under control. It's ridiculous. But interestingly, it wasn't called chaotic when a head football coach like, say, a Nick Saban, Michigan State to LSU, leaves and the AD just leaves his job when he's still under contract to go coach somewhere else. That wasn't chaotic. All right, you're talking about we need to know from year to year who our guys are. You know, you got to be able to count on this and that. But your coach could up and leave at any time for more money. Nobody had a problem with that. Nobody said that was the wild, wild west. Look, we are in a free market capitalistic society. And if I had graduated from high school at 18 and didn't go to college, and I could go get a job whatever I could get, whatever I was worth, I could go earn that money in this capitalistic society. These football players and basketball players in college have not been able to do that. They are generating billions of dollars, and they have not been able to capitalize on it. Now, the free market system is open to them as it should be, and the coaches don't like it because it does lessen some of their control. And while I'll say this from what Jimbo said yesterday, I can't wait till October 8th when Texas A&M goes to Alabama. It was already going to be great because A&M beat them last year, but it'll be absolute must-see TV this year. And I'm excited. So I love the trash. So, here's the last thing I'll say. The reporters, dig into what Jimbo was saying. He was telling them, go look stuff up. Go talk to the assistants. Dig into Nick Saban's past. I don't know if something's there or not. But I'm just saying what Jimbo said. Go ahead. I want to see some reporters dig into that stuff and see what's there.
See, I'm taking a more pure view of Nick Saban's comments. I think they were messy, and he knows that they were messy. And he tried to make 2 calls, and I don't think anybody took his calls. He's trying to apologize that he shouldn't have called anybody out by name. But I actually do think he is the steward of college football. And I think everyone agrees that the NIL, as instituted right now, is imperfect. And to Nick Saban's credit, he has been evolving his system to whatever it takes to win. So I think Nick Saban, there's plenty of money. I know you're like, oh, the pie's not getting bigger. The Alabama pie can certainly get bigger. And I said yesterday, if Nick Saban made a YouTube video asking for my son Billy to send him his allowance, he would do that. He just likes Al. He's like, I'm going to go to Alabama. So the pie can get bigger for the greatest. It's like saying movie star salaries will go down now that we have streaming. Like, no, man, it'll just get bigger and bigger. The best will always get bigger. It might get smaller for the mid-tier schools, but I think Alabama will be fine. So here's the thing that I think I stand by this. If Nick Saban is also saying, in my opinion, if you want to go this way, I can unleash the full Alabama machine. And we have more money, we have a better legacy, we have bigger boosters, we're better organized. If you want me to do that, I can. I feel like it's just a warning shot across the bow. Like, I'll go this way if you want.
Yeah, Wilds. No, Wilds. Alabama doesn't have more money. They don't have bigger boosters, for the record. It's the University of Alabama. They might have a more passionate fan base. It is not the richest fan base. So let me just give a quick example.
Right.
Helped elevate a couple also ran college football programs, 2 billionaires. Phil Knight and T. Boone Pickens just decided, I care about Oregon and Oklahoma State. And all of a sudden, Oregon and Oklahoma State were eating at the same recruiting trough that they never had before, that Alabama and Oklahoma and USC and Ohio State always had been. The reason Saban is threatened by this is because his biggest edge now is undercut. Because his biggest edge is that they're Alabama and is that they have the best facilities because it is a limited amount of money, so to speak, that you're working from, and the history of it. And he's Nick Saban. Now, if you lose one 5-star to Deion and a couple to A&M, and then all of a sudden, who knows, one of the tech billionaires that went to Stanford is like, you know what? I want the Cardinal to be great again. Let's get back to the Andrew Luck, Jim Harbaugh era. And so then all of a sudden, it creates more parity. So maybe Saban will be rich forever. Maybe his salary's not going to be dinged by it, but his job gets harder. And these guys are, as Bruce said, what did we hear the scout called a player in the draft this year, Chicago Bears scout? Oh, he's a great profile, PhD, poor, hungry, desperate. You know what also makes them lose control? Some of these players having $800 grand in the bank. You're going to grab my face mask?
Right.
You're going to say this about me? I don't know about that. If I'm 19 years old driving a Ferrari into practice, and everyone can act like that's the end of the world. It's not. And so these guys don't want to lose control, and they don't want to lose money. And they are lashing out like petulant children because of it.
And it's far from over.